Let's move on, though, into our next topic, and we're going into some Avengers talk, Johnny. We didn't get enough Avengers this weekend.
Of course not.
For the first time ever, our movie review, we were actually able to, because I took off work on Friday, because I could stay up all night and do it. We saw Avengers on Thursday. We put up the review. If you've seen Avengers, haven't seen our review, go check out our review. I'm going to try to put it right up there for you guys so it comes right out and you can click on it. But what we are looking at today is this is a story that we knew coming into Avengers Infinity War. By the way, this will have Avengers Infinity War spoilers. So if you have not seen Infinity War, bookmark this one. Put it in your watch later, bookmark it for later after you see the movie, then come back to it, because the Russos in an interview before Infinity War came in and said that, oh, we can't give you the title for Avengers 4 because it's going to be a huge spoiler for the Avengers Infinity War movie. So now that we've seen Avengers Infinity War and it's out and it's been out for a full weekend, Johnny, I will ask you point blank, because we didn't talk about this in our review. Now that we've seen Infinity War, what will be the title of Avengers 4?
Well, I believe in one of the articles you were reading, one that you and I both liked because it came from the movie.
Exactly from the movie.
Was Endgame.
I love it. Give me Avengers Endgame. You want to know why I love that so much? Not only does it pull from Avengers Infinity War, it kind of
gives you an idea of what.
Well, I mean, it's not the end of the MCU, because, like, I think it was Kevin Feige came out and said that he doesn't ever think that the MCU will end. But this is the end of this 10-year period that we've had. Like, phases 1 through 3 are one collective whole, and then phase 4 can be the next jumping off point into our cosmic sphere.
Yeah.
As they're saying, like the cosmic universe they're going to go into. So that's why for me Endgame is so good, because like even Doctor Strange said, now we're entering the Endgame.
Right before, I think that's right before he disappeared.
Right before he disappeared. Now we're in the end, or was it? Or I
think it was slightly before that, actually.
Yeah, because it was right when Tony asked, "Why did you give up the stone?" And he goes, "Because now we're in the end game." Yeah, it was before the snap.
Yeah, because Thanos had to go back to Earth and get a fight.
Yeah, he had to get the Mind Stone.
Let's be honest, the only real fight that came was from Thor.
Yeah, that's the only one that came. But I mean, the thing for me is,
well, a little bit of Cap.
That's the one I like the most. However, there are some out here, people are throwing in Avengers Dissembled, because it's like, oh, you know, they're dissembled, or people are saying Avengers Reassembled, because they're going to have to reassemble everything. Is there anything that we're missing? Is there a title out there? Is there a story out there that you think Avengers 4 will be? Because the thing is, people are saying, oh, we got Captain Marvel, we got Ant-Man and the Wasp. Both of those happened before Avengers 4, though. Before Infinity War. So really, both of those are not going to impact.
They have nothing to do with it. Well, they do, but they don't. I mean, it's part of the MCU, but they have nothing to do with that story for the most part. Well, I was going to ask you first. Would you have any other ones you were thinking of before I throw mine out? Because it's kind of generic, but it's something that we've never had, and they played around with it, but they never actually said it in the MCU. So I want to see if you have anything first.
I would love if it was Avengers Secret War, but I don't think we get that.
Okay. No, I think that'd be a different storyline. I would love Avengers
Secret War.
I think it'd be a completely different storyline instead of the Infinity War.
We're not going to get the scroll and everything.
No.
In there. What about you?
I would say it kind of goes off of these two that you said before. We've never had them say it. They've played around with it. Why not just call it Avengers Assemble? Like, they are reassembling the team. This will be the first time the Avengers Assemble. Just name it that. Instead of reassemble, disassemble, Avengers Assemble.
Didn't they use that a lot, though, with the first Avengers?
No, they never even said it, because in Age of Ultron, at the very end, when you get the new Avengers, Cap goes, Avengers, and he's about to say assemble, and they cut to black.
Yeah.
So I've never heard, I can't, and unless I'm wrong, you guys let me know. They've never actually said the phrase Avengers Assemble.
I'm looking here to see if, because I want to say Yeah, okay. That's the thing. So in the US,
Yes.
it was Marvel's The Avengers, but in the UK and Ireland, it was classified as Marvel's Avengers Assemble.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So that's the thing of, it was only the UK and Ireland.
Okay.
But
Well,
I thought they did that's why I was like, I thought they did something with Assemble early on in that movie. Like, not that movie, but like with that movie coming into everything.
Well, then there goes that one.
Yeah. I mean, Reassemble kind of seems like the big one because they assembled, now it's reassembling. To me, I don't know what else besides, like, Endgame's my favorite.
Yeah, so
because
far.
it ripped straight through it. But my whole thought process is there anything from this movie that would have been a massive spoiler? And to me, if they would have came out, like, I guess Endgame would have been like, okay, like, I guess that's kind of a spoiler. But even if you called it Avengers Endgame, I wouldn't know exactly what it was.
Well,
you know
I mean,
it
doesn't really give a ton away other than, oh, this is the last try they have. Mm-hmm. Or, so, I mean, you don't know. Because it doesn't give away it doesn't give away, oh, is anyone coming back? It doesn't give away, oh, who's going to die officially. Mm-hmm. We don't know any of that just from the name Endgame. We just know that, okay, obviously, because if you couldn't have figured it out by then, Thanos is going to get defeated. It's just going to take 2 full movies to do it. And in what way Thanos is going to be defeated, I don't know. Let's just hope it's not Infinity Gauntlet style.
I'm looking here, and the only thing I'm looking at, because I'm looking at other, like, actual comic names, mm-hmm. and the only one that I can think of that could have been kind of a spoiler, but I don't think they use this, is there's a comic from 2015 that is Thanos, the Infinity Relativity. To where it's like, I don't think they'll call it Infinity Relativity, but
I don't think so.
Will they call it something in that, like, because we're living in an alternate, it's not really an alternate, but it's like a new world kind of a thing, where, because the big spoiler to me would be that people were disappearing, because that's the thing that kind of shook everyone.
Yeah, it did.
That half the world kind of disappeared. Do you think they call it Avengers: A New World? But that to me doesn't put the end to something. You know what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't.
Like, to me, this has to be a title that puts an end to something, like the ultimate end. That's why I like Endgame so much.
Or like Endgame, or something that kind of derives off of the fact that they are trying to redo what's been undone in a sense.
Mm-hmm. To reverse it.
Yeah. I can't think of
there's one here, Avengers Infinity Gauntlet, but why name it the Infinity Gauntlet?
No, exactly. I wouldn't do that because
the gauntlet got kind of destroyed when he snapped it, which is interesting. Like, I'm looking at an article here. They said Infinity Gauntlet, which I don't see. Secret Invasion, but there's no invasion here.
No.
Like, the invasion is the Skrull and Kree. Avengers Dissembled could be the one. Secret War, I would love for them to use. I think
that'd more so be a different story altogether.
Yeah, save Secret Wars for like the cosmic side of things.
Yeah, when we actually maybe have to have the Secret War, which would be cool.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, for me, Endgame would probably be the biggest spoiler then, right?
Yeah, I can't think of anything that would
because of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, even then it doesn't spoil it that badly. Without seeing the movie, how the hell are you supposed to know what that means? Mm-hmm. Now that you and I have context of what that means,
because we've actually seen the movie, we know that Doctor Strange has that conversation with Tony Stark.
Checked 14 billion outcomes,
and only one of them. Well, that's something. I'll bring this up. I know this is a little off topic from the title thing, but it relates here. I don't know if we exactly hit this in our review. I think we kind of danced around it. I was looking today when I was researching topics for our show.
Yeah.
And there was an article I came across of what is Doctor Strange's plan? Because, when we even mentioned it in our review, he's got a plan. You knew he had some sort of a plan because he easily gave that stone up.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have easily gave that stone up if he didn't know hey, I've got to do this.
It's like this is part of the plan. Honestly, I guess part of the plan is to keep Tony alive because Thanos was about to finish off Tony. He's like, I hope they remember you. So the part of that plan is to have kept Tony alive.
Do you think he's the, I don't want to say the missing piece, but do you think Tony is going to be the main thing in Avengers 4 to stop Thanos?
Yes and no. I think it's going to be something along the lines of that.
Because you brought up something to me today that I didn't really remember. About
yes.
Tony Stark.
So I'll tell them real quick.
That's why I brought it up, so that you would say it.
Yeah. Of course you did. So any of you that have seen, and I'm hoping you all have seen if you're watching this one right now, Infinity Wars, the last people to survive.
Hope you've seen Age of Ultron too.
Well, I hope you did too, but hey,
that's kind of important for
this point, that's your fault for not seeing it. So any of you, hopefully, like I said, any of you that's seen it, and hopefully you all have, at the end of Infinity Wars, a bunch of people disappear. They just gone. Cap survives, Bruce survives, Black Widow, Thor survives. We don't know what's going on with Clint. So that's the one that kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in there. Am I missing anyone? Cap survives, I think I said.
Yeah. Cap, Thor,
Tony,
Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Tony. So the 6.
Yeah, the 6.
There's 6 of the original Avengers. We see there.
And in Tony's vision in Age of Ultron, those are the 6. I mean, followed by a bunch of random people just laying there, which I took it as possible SHIELD agents or who really just soldiers of some sort. But those are the ones as they pan across. It's Hulk, Black Widow, Clint, Thor, and Cap.
And Cap even says to him,
grabs him by the arm and says, "You could have saved us." So my guess is that this is going to probably this story's going to not weigh heavily in a sense that like, oh, it's all about Tony, but Tony's going to have to do something pretty big in the next one to finish this endgame, which is why maybe Stephen Strange gave the Infinity Stone up so easily. It's like, I will give you the stone if you spare Tony's life.
Now I'm reading here, like the whole thing that I'm reading here is about Doctor Strange's plan.
Yes.
And we know he had to have a plan because like we said in the review, he wouldn't have given up the stone if he didn't know what that one singularity was.
Yes.
That's where they came out on top. And I'm reading here and it says the Avengers must lose in order to win. And it says, through his connection to Thanos via the Soul Gem, Adam Warlock explains the real reason. This is from the comics in the Infinity Gauntlet, which you and I read. You can check a graphic conversation on that. That went up today, actually. And it says, look back onto your life, Thanos of Titan, and what do you see? A man always seeking ultimate power and losing it as soon as he attains it. Why? Because deep in his soul, he knows he is not worthy. And that to me is like the whole thing of how are they, at this point, how are they going to undo this? Because the last thing we saw in the post-credit scene was the Captain Marvel flashy thing from the beacon. However, if when he snapped, the Infinity Gauntlet kind of was destroyed, how are they going to turn back time?
Well,
what's going to help them turn back time? Because Doctor Strange is gone.
Well, the Infinity Stone is with Thanos still.
Exactly. The stone's with Thanos. Doctor Strange is gone. He's the only one that knows how to use the damn thing.
Unless either Wong knows another way. Because
we don't even know if Wong is around.
Yeah, my guess is if we got one sorcerer that's gone, Wong's going to be around. Because in the comics, it's the opposite way.
Because Wong disappears.
Yes, in the comics. Sorry to spoil that for you guys, but go check it out. I can't snap for it to happen. He can.
Your snap just didn't work.
My snap is a hey. It's probably over there somewhere.
Yeah, just go check it out.
Anyways,
I forgot Wong did disappear in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Infinity Gauntlet, but not in not necessarily in the movie.
Well, we never seen it.
Exactly. We don't know, just like we don't know Clint, we don't know Ant-Man or Wasp even. So
God, Clint not being in the movie was weird.
It was. Because weren't they kind of hinting at he's going to be in the movie?
I'm assuming he's in the next one.
That's what I think so. Here's what I would think would give him the strive to do that. His wife or kids disappeared in that snap,
and now he has to come. Hey, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, guys, I need you to fill me in because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, and
obviously he's going to be out for revenge for that.
And he's not going to be able to get in touch with Nick because Nick's gone.
Yep, Nick's gone. Maria's gone.
Yeah. So I mean, he's not going to be able to get in touch with those guys. Only one he will probably get in touch with is with Nat.
Well, Nat
I was going to say
Cap.
Black Widow or Cap.
Yeah.
That one works as
Nat
well.
would probably be the top one.
But I mean, for me, if I was going off of a name, and it's funny, I scrolled down this article. You know, it's the last thing they said. The importance of Tony Stark.
Did they really? Just missed that.
And they said, it's 2 paragraphs. I'll read it really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before wrapping up, there's another interpretation of Doctor Strange handing the Time Stone that's worth considering. His statement that it was the only way could mean that it was the only way to stop Thanos from killing Tony. That, in turn, would mean that Tony Stark's survival is essential to the Avengers' inevitable defeat of Thanos. While he isn't the most powerful remaining member of the Avengers, Iron Man has been almost as important as Captain America in playing a leadership role within the group. And after such a devastating blow, the Avengers may need Tony in order to properly regroup. While the elimination of half the people in the galaxy was ostensibly random, it's probably no coincidence that all of the founding members of the Avengers, Thor, Iron Man, Cap, Black Widow, Hulk, and we can safely assume Hawkeye, have survived, while most of the allies that joined that later have been killed off. If Avengers 4 will bring everything full circle, then it makes sense to have the original group back together for the final push against Thanos, and Tony as an integral part of that group. Here's another thing I didn't think about. You know what we're probably going to get for the first time in Avengers 4? Tony and Cap finally put the hatchet to bed.
Yeah.
Because think about it, I didn't mention this in our review. Bruce is like, dude, you got to call Cap. Like, who cares what little squander you guys have? This is more important.
This is bigger than that.
And who ended up calling Cap?
Bruce. Because he found the phone.
Yeah. Tony never called him. Tony wasn't going to call him.
No.
Like, Tony was like, oh, I guess I have to. But he wasn't going to call him. So this might be, well, this should be the first movie where they kind of bury that hatchet.
They're going to have to.
And go, hey, man, like, that I didn't even think about. We got to bring the original group back together in order to stop everything.
Mm-hmm.
And bring it right back to where it was
+2.
In the beginning. What do you mean +2?
Nebula and Rocket survived.
No, I guess.
I
guess. But they're not part of the Avengers.
No, they're not. I'm just joking.
They're not Avengers. They're just... They're
Avenger.
Oh, yeah. Good luck, kid. You're an Avenger now. What? Really?
No, because I mean, the one thing that also makes me think that this is the one path that needs to be taken by Doctor Strange, like Doctor Strange's plan is in the ship. He goes, if it comes to you, the kid of the stone, I'm obligated to protect the stone. I'm out of there. You guys will die. And then all of a sudden,
he went back on that.
Yeah, he did go back on it. He goes, Thanos, I will give you the stone if you let Tony live. It's like you just went back on your word after checking 14 billion.
That's the key thing, though.
Yeah.
He checked all of those probabilities.
14 billion probabilities and only one. And it's like, that means Tony needs to... My thought is that means Tony needs to survive.
He does. And I mean, maybe it's one of those things where it's not just Tony.
Yeah.
It's here's what probably went down to it. The original Avengers are the only ones that can save us. So Doctor Strange said, I have one of those members in front of me. If I even make sure that he doesn't die, that's all I can do.
Yeah.
I can't make sure that the rest of them don't die because anything can happen. But let's be honest, I can only take care of this one.
At least if I make sure this one survives, it's part of the plan. It's part of the chance. It'll take it down the right path as much as I can. I can make it happen.
Before I ask you the final question that I'm going to, any final things you want to hit within the Avengers topic we've got today?
No, it's going to be very interesting on how they're going to, well, for one, how they're going to time travel without a time stone. Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, they got the watches. So I wonder if Tony makes a way to travel through time.
You think so?
He's the only one I can think that has, it's either him or Wong. Those are the only two I can think that have the capability of doing so.
I'm trying to think
of anyone else. Unless Thor has some magical way of doing it, I doubt that highly, but unless he has some magical way of doing it, anything from Asgard's gone to do that with. So
yeah, anything's gone from Asgard. I don't think that Rocket has any...
I mean, Rocket could help. He's good at assembling random things, but Tony's going to be the one that has to think about it, because Cap's got nothing. I have no thought. Cap,
unless Captain Marvel comes back and she knows stuff.
Maybe she knows a way.
Because here's the question I'm going to ask you, and you just pop this into my head.
Yeah,
will we see in Avengers 4 Captain Marvel with the Infinity Gauntlet on?
Infinity Gauntlet, I don't know. Captain Marvel,
because people are saying out of everyone in the MCU, she's going to be the only one that's powerful enough to wield it.
Well, here's the thing. In comic books, and this is one thing I read, I could be wrong at this point, but this was a few years ago I read this. Tony has been the only human
to wield it.
So maybe Tony will wield it.
God, that'd be seeing Robert Downey Jr. with the Infinity Gauntlet on.
Right?
Like, what a fitting end. You started it 10 years ago. Well, 11 years when we get to Avengers 4.
You're going to end it.
And you're going to end it with the Infinity Gauntlet on.
That would be epic.
How crazy would that be? Here's the last question I was going to ask you.
Go ahead.
And this will end our segment. If you had to put money on it right now, what do you think the title for Avengers 4 will be?
Right now, I'm really liking Endgame, so that's the one I'm going to stick with.
That's the one I was going to use. I would love if they came out and said it's going to be Avengers Secret War. I would love it. But I just don't know how it fits. I don't know how
it doesn't fit, so keep it.
I don't know how it's a spoiler, but I will say Endgame is also really cool. Like, I like Endgame because it is something that Doctor Strange said when he's like, hey, you know what? We're in the end game right now. And that is where we are. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in the comment section. What will Avengers 4 title be? Also, what do you think is going to happen in Avengers 4 based off of what we saw this past weekend in Infinity War? Let us know what you think down below in that comment section.